Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys. It sound right, boy.
Hello everyone and welcome to Christmas. It's Christmas today. The reason I'm sitting over here is because of the way I've got things aligned on the...
Yeah.
See how it's all zoomed out?
Merry Chrysler Peter Austin. How was your weekend and how are you? The Tat unboxing video was epic. It was incredible and lovely to see. Very much enjoyed the Tat video, main menu, and weirdest games ever. Hope you are having an awesome and festive day.
Let me show you what we're dealing with here. I'll just head over here. See, I have to sit exactly here, otherwise I'm not going to be sitting in my lovely cozy tree. Should we just do it from this screen, maybe? We could do it from here. Let's do it from here, so that you can't just see like bits of bare shelf on the outside. It means we can't see the chat there, the chat monitor, but you're live right now. You can just read the chat if you like. Hello everyone. Look at the hype train going mad. That's crazy. Look at that. We're at 72% of level 2 already. What's been going on? Hello one and hello all. I don't really understand how the hype train works because it looks like we've only got like a couple of, I say only got a couple of subs and things. I don't understand, but who cares? Look, we've nearly filled up level 2. We just have. We're at level 3 now, pretty much. So there we go. Let me say hello, first and foremost, to the Will of Phil, who subscribed while we were on Go Live, the Live Soon screen. Will of Phil subscribed for 27 months. Thank you very much, Will of Phil, for that. Then we had 300 bits from Stephen Skoders, who said... Merry Chrysler Peter Austin, how was your weekend and how are you? Tat unboxing was epic. It was incredible and lovely to see. Enjoyed the chat. Hope you're having an awesome and festive day. Yes.
Merry Crimus, Mr. Peter. I forgot my math homework, sorry, but I'm ready for this splendiferous stream.
The math homework. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. So the 300 bits from Stephen, thank you very much. I had a great weekend, Stephen. Part of it was spent prepping for this. I had to rip the episodes from an old DVD. I feel like I mean, I like it, but I feel like our OBS is outputting at like 50 or 60 FPS now, and it used to. Look how smooth that alerts box is. Is it just me, or is that smoother than normal? That alerts box looks real nice and smooth, and I like it. Maybe it's just our monitor. Maybe it's no different for you guys at your end, and someone's just fiddled with our actual PC settings. But I'm seeing that smoother than normal, and it looks nice. I installed a new TV yesterday as well. I say installed. I took it out of the box, put the legs on it. Is this legs? And put it on our TV stand. We're thinking about mounting it, but for now, I just set it up on the stand.
Extra bits for the tiny Peter Austin hype train. Choo choo. Get festive and hyped, especially splendiferous.
Guys, we're over 52% of the way there of beating our last record on the hype train. Look at that. We've got 3.5 minutes left to do it. Thank you to Mr. Black for the 33-month sub. Is that a boring maths teacher? No, wait, it's Peter Austin. Happy to be here for 33 months and hope for another 33 to come. Thank you very much, Mr. Black, for that. Thank you, of course, I should say. Thank you to everyone who sent such wonderful things in to the Tat Appeal. We've had a few opportunities to say thank you for that. We thanked you before we'd even opened it all when we were on stream. I've thanked you since we opened it, but the video hadn't yet gone out. And now the video's gone out, so you guys can see everything that we've received. And we're over the moon with everything. My house has had loads of chocolate and sweets in it for about a month, so I feel really unhealthy and bad about myself, so thanks for that. But we've also had loads of games that we're going to play on Worst Games Ever and Weirdest Games Ever, which is very exciting. We've had plushies. We've had really nice oh, that was weird. We've had special toys and things and all sorts of fun stuff. What I could do is add the Christmas background music on here. I didn't add it on here because obviously I don't want it clashing with the what's the word? The DVD, the TV show when we get going. But I'll pop it on. It's probably going to be really loud by default. Oh no, it knows to do it at -23. That's good. There we go. A bit of Christmas music. Hopefully you can hear that. But we received loads of stuff, and it's lovely, and we've just completed level 3 on the hype train. It's all going very well today. Thank you, everyone, for contributing to today's stream. Oh, and look, there's a finish line. You see that on the hype train? We've got 4.5 minutes to get there. Can you believe that might be possible? I believe it. Thank you, Mr. Black, for subscribing for 33 months. That's a third of, I nearly said a year, as though there are 100 months in a year, which there aren't. But it's a third of the way to 100 months, which is great. Jack Bradshaw with 37 months on a 36-month streak. More than 11, 37, as they say in bingo. Yes, they do. More than 11, 37. Howdy, Pete and gang. I hope all of you are well. Work is a lot quieter today, so I can sit down with you, lovely lot. Halfway through the tap video, and I won't give anything away. All I'll say is...
I want to hear this again.
It's very strange. Why does she sound like a real human being when she says that? I sent Mikey bird seeds. All I can say is apologies, Ashton. Haha. Jack, I can't remember what you sent specifically that you would have to apologise to Ashton for, but fair enough. Apologies to Ashton. We've got Pup George subscribed for 13 months. Yeah, apologies, by the way. I'll say if I forget specifically who sent any given thing, especially in the moment when I'm live on the internet. It's easier for me to at least look it up after the fact. But, you know, when I'm like doing my next art stream, I'm going, oh, and you know, such and such sent this in, this t-shirt that I'm wearing or whatever. We sat in that room for 10 hours, right? We didn't leave the room other than I went to get James at one point. And maybe we had to take some stuff out because there wasn't enough room for all the rubbish in here. So we had to like do one bin run. We sat in this room from about 9:30 in the morning till gone 7:30. And then after we'd stopped recording, we didn't really leave this room because we were tidying up for another hour. So you'll forgive me, I'm sure, if I forget specifically who sent what things. I'll just say that now. But thank you to everyone who did send such wonderful things. Pup George subscribed for 13 months. That's over a year. Unlucky for some. Thank you, Pup George. ITP, 13 months. The bakers will be proud. I can't wait for a wonky British children's drama. My favourite flavour of British children's drama. It's going to be great. I'm really excited for today's stream. It's I think this might be my favourite stream of the year. Not this one specifically, this show, but just generally. When we watch The Box of Delights and Narnia, it really taps in deep into a Tiny Peter niche. You know, you guys get enough of my niches when we play like old PS1 games, or I just talk to you about Star Wars while I'm playing something completely unrelated to Star Wars. But when we sit down and we watch a bit of children's fantasy based in Britain from the late 20th century, you wouldn't even begin to know how much that scratches my itches, my niche itch. So there you go. I spend most of my evenings at the moment watching Blake's 7, which I've never had the pleasure of watching before, but I've always wanted to. And I got BritBox, and that is it's for adults, but it's a 1970s TV sci-fi series, and super low budget. Really sort of strange aliens in it every now and then. Most of the time everyone's humanoid because they didn't have the budget to do aliens, but when they do, it's just people in weird foam costumes and stuff. It's brilliant. I love it. So yeah, you're going to get some vintage TV from me today, and I'm going to enjoy every single second. Trillion Jones subscribed for 34 months. Ho ho howdy TP. We've got a minute left, by the way, everyone, to hit whatever arbitrary line that is on the record, but don't worry if we don't. We've already got to level 3 on the hype train, which is very nice. Trillion Jones subscribed for 34 months. Ho ho howdy TP. Totally feeling the wholesome retro TV content today. Felicitous festivities to the wonderful wintry walrus clan and everyone at Team TripleJump. You lot are ace. Well, thank you, Trillion Jones. That's a lovely thing to say. Steven Skodes gifted 2 subs. They've gone to Sir Twixalicious and Project Steve. Thank you, Stephen. That takes you up to 583. Not far from 600 now.
I went to school with an arbitrary.
Arbitrary. Yeah, okay. Did I even say the word arbitrary? I'm not sure. Wait, Peter was a tree all along, says Jack. Well, could have been. Could have been. You'll see it's relevant to the show we're going to watch today, The Tree. You know, when we watched Box of Delights, I was in the box. When we watched Narnia, I was in the wardrobe. This one's got a tree. You'll learn all about the tree shortly. Mr. Beaver falling over t-shirt when, says Pushy Labs Jennikin. Oh, sadly, I don't know if we have the rights to do. We probably could get away with it, but it's also, again, that is a bit of a niche. I think if I tried to push that with our merch guy and said, look, we're gonna sell loads of these, just a picture of a beaver face down and the word yeah above it. I think he'd be disappointed when we finally added it to the store and sold 4 of them. So, hey, maybe it's my Kiss Me I'm Bab shirt.
Generation gap.
You guys will
Now
ask
you've
for it,
heard of the Mission Impossible
and I'll
TV
say no.
series. For me, it was a staple of 1970s syndicated TV watching, along with Star Trek.
Ed.
Even had Leonard Nimoy for a few seasons.
Ed, I learned only very recently that Mission Impossible goes all the way back to like a black and white TV series. There is a generational gap, but I am aware of it. I've never watched it, but I follow a lot of like retro TV Twitter accounts and stuff. Ones that post like old TV listings and clips from like the continuity where it's like someone who's speaking in RP saying like, and next this evening we have Mission Impossible. And I was like, Mission Impossible? What do you mean? This is like black and white TV. And I learned that, oh, wow, it's actually based on an old TV series from God knows when, which I did not know until just now. Well, not just now, but yeah, a couple of weeks ago, I think it was, I learned that. Nick Gage, 79, 30 months, happy Crimballs, Peter, how time flies. And look at you with a 30-month subscription via Prime. Thank you, Nick Gage, for using your Prime subscription on us. Lolly Llama with 100 bits, Merry Christmas, Peter. Forgot my math homework, sorry, but ready for this splendiferous stream.
was created by Dalek creator Terry Nation.
It was.
Also, MI is a lot of fun to watch, though a very different show than the movies.
Right. I'm sure it is, but I've never seen any of the movies, so I'm not going in there expecting anything in particular, so I probably would enjoy it maybe more than, or I would struggle to pass it from the movies less than other people would. Thank you, Lolly Llama, for the bits. You will have to stay behind class and do some lines for forgetting your homework. Samuel B. Music 98, 14 months subscribed by Prime. Thank you very much. 14 months on Twitch, many more elsewhere. Finished the Tat Appeal video over the weekend, and I'm just amazed by this community and how great you are. Much love, Keys Keys. You're absolutely right, Samuel. We are very lucky as creators and presenters on this channel to receive such nice things from you all, for one thing. Amongst many other things. Okay, that's fine. So my player looked a bit weird there. I panicked for a moment and thought we were missing half of the first episode. I just glanced at my TV and was like, oh, that's not right, but it's fine. Thank you, Samuel B. Music. 100 bits from Cosmic Roach, who says, happy Hype Train, happy Peter Stream Day. Thank you very much, Cosmic Roach. Then we had Forgotten Media 141. Merry Chrysler to the appropriately named Tiny Peter and the Walrus Clan. I've got some facts about the world in 1986 and what was happening when each episode aired. You'll see those in chat periodically between each episode. Thank you, Forgotten Media. This borders on Forgotten Media that we're watching today. It's not Forgotten Media, it's literally available on DVD. but it's not they've not bothered putting this on BritBox, or it's not available on iPlayer, so they're not that bothered about it anymore. So it could one day become Forgotten Media if we're not careful. We got 100 bits from Stephen Skodes, extra bits for Tiny Peter Hype Train, Choo Choo, Get Festive. Thank you everyone for the level 3 on the Hype Train. We did a really good job today, much appreciated. Farwall says, Merry Crimble, one and all, 34 months subscribed. Thank you, Farwall. That's over a third of the way to 100 months. I'm trying to catch up, everyone. Don't worry. Danji's Designs with 38 months subscribed. Merry Christmas. Me and my girlfriend just finished the Tat unboxing last night. It was epic and lovely as usual. I'm hoping I can send some Tat and new art by next year. I'm looking forward to some bonkers nostalgia. Well, Danji's Designs. Danji, you do good designs, so art would always be well received by you, from you, by us. What? We would receive it well. I don't know. Dr. Goblin _ subscribed via Prime for 5 months. Thanks for sticking with us for 5 months now, Dr. Goblin. Warm Christmassy wishes to all in TJ Towers. Rough times have been aplenty since the start of the month, but yourself and everyone on the team have helped me pull through all the nonsense. Well, I'm glad to hear it, Dr. Goblin, and I'm sure this that we're going to watch today will help everyone just unwind a little bit. I've been a bit wound up today. I don't know even what it is because I've not had a stressful day at work, but there's just must be something in the back of my mind that's like eating away at me, and I've been a bit like my heart rate's been up and I've just felt a bit tense, and I think this will help. We can all unwind. 100 bits from Eoloza, who just put and creeped us all out. Thanks very much for that and for the bits. Barley 89, 40 months on a 19-month streak. Celebrating 40 months with the best channel with a cozy classic Christmas watch-along. What could be better? Thanks for the great content. Here's to lots more. We'll get to it shortly, everyone. I'm getting there. I'm catching up. Apologies for that. 100 bits from Stephen Skodes, who wanted to hear the again, and it was worth it. Rovers Phil 92 subscribed via Prime for the first time. Welcome to the Walrus Clan, Rovers Phil. Thank you very much for having a go at being a subscriber. That's very much appreciated. 100 bits from Trialing Badger, who says, I went to school with an arbitrary. I'm sure you probably did. I can believe it. Jeremiah the Tadpole. Jeremiah was a tadpole. Oh, I've just realised that actually probably is the reference, because a bullfrog probably starts life as a tadpole, doesn't it? Happy holidays, they say, after 35 months subscribed. Thank you very much. Then we hit level 3 on the Hype Train. Wow, this was a long time ago. Jeff the Molly Goose subscribed for 31 months. Prime being stupid, so I'd do the old-fashioned method of paying. Merry Christmas. Well, thank you, Molly, for paying. That's much appreciated as well. We've got a first-time chat from Pensive Games, who says, sometimes I wonder if I ever watched all on the Queen's Nose. Queen's Nose was great. I'm wondering about, so in the new year, there's going to be a fun and interesting change to not the streaming schedule, but the way in which some of our streams are visually presented. Oh, TripleJump is changing, and it isn't something that we thought to mention in our TripleJump Isn't Changing video. Which doesn't come out for, I think, a couple of, like a week or so. What could be happening? Don't worry, it's all good and exciting. But yeah, I'm thinking of maybe doing a bit more of this throughout the year, because I look forward every year to the watch-alongs, and I did do one at Halloween this year as well, so I'll definitely do a Halloween and Christmas one next year, but I'm wondering if maybe just every so often, just sprinkled through, I can do a bit of an Adam Pacitti and just watch some old TV shows and stuff, and it would be fun to watch kids shows, but the Queen's Nose probably couldn't get away with. I imagine that's mainstream enough that it might get copyright struck, or I don't know, maybe. But there's other shows that wouldn't, so we can think about that. Thank you, Pensive Games, for chatting. Welcome to the chat. Then we had... There's a lot of Buips happening right now. What's going on down there? I'm catching up. 50 bits from Nick Gage. Have the last of my bits for this year. Started to look for Tat so I can contribute next year. Wow, you're getting in early, Nick. Thank you very much for the bits. Raindrop Joy 40. Merry Christmas, TP and chat. Hope everyone has a lovely festive period. Thank you very much for being with us for 20 months. I can see I'm close. Then GY Goliath gifted...
Merry Christmas, everyone. Also, Aurora says hello and thank you for showing her picture. She also can't wait for the next art stream to see him. She got a little attached to him as she loves watching Bob Ross. Merry Christmas everyone. Love you all, Dubsy for life.
Yeah.
The Whip.
Oh, I've just seen in the chat, thank you to, hang on, I've just moved the tab. Boring Loner for pointing out it still says ad on this stream, which it's not a stream, it's not an ad at all, so I've taken that off. Thank you very much. Where was I? GUI Goliath posted a bunch of, has done a bunch of gift subs, as did Nexus Polaris. Back to back, the two of you have done 10 between you. Thank you, GUI Goliath. You're on 595 now. You really are close to 600, which is crazy. And Nexus Polaris on a nice round 30. Thank you for continuing to gift sub, Nexus Polaris. I know you're a recent entry into the gift sub gang, you know, the frequent gift subbers, and every one of you is appreciated. So GUI Goliaths have gone to Alex Mumby, the Mega Drive Kid, Jordan. My Christmas. Just occurred to me that my Christmas music I don't think is looping. Christmas music isn't looping. Loop. It's looping. Good. Alex Mumby, the Mega Drive Kid, Jordan 05, Grong Goblin, and Awesome Fox 42. All those salutes for you and for GUI Goliath. Thank you very much for all of your gift subs this year, GUI Goliath. Also, Nexus Polaris has given them to Toshubi, the Limey Coconut, Nathan Metcalf, TomTom F94, and Vibro Guy, taking you up to 30. Thank you, Nexus Polaris. I can hear some more buips. Has someone done some more? Some more gift subs. People that were then worrying in the chat about the word changing. Oh dear. Eloza gifted a sub to Edu. They've given 6 so far. Thank you very much indeed for giving more gift subs this year. It's much appreciated. Sammy, what's the name with 100 bits? Aurora says hello and thanks for showing her picture. It was an excellent picture. Thank you, Aurora, for sending it in. She also can't wait for the next art stream to see Billy Ray Bob Ross. She got a little attached to him as she loves watching Bob Ross. Oh, well, that's lovely. Well, I assure you, he will be available. He's actually just up out of shot, but as a rule, we're not showing any tat until next year. 100 bits from Solar Alex, who says Buip and gave 100 bits. Thank you very much indeed. 1 bit from Luke Leo 94 with a first time chat. Thank you for giving a bit there, Luke Leo, for your first time chat. Steven Skodes has gone up to 588 gift subs now by gifting 5 more. I think this is it now. I've caught up, so don't worry everyone, we will watch the show now. Thank you for hanging around. I've got all these nice people to thank. Steven Skodes, thank you for all your gift subs this year as well. You've done plenty yourself. Yeah, every one of you gifters, you are a huge contributor to the channel. It's one of the ways we're supported financially, so it makes a lot of difference to us. And you're helping someone else as well. You're giving someone else the treat of being gifted, being subbed, which is great. So Stephen, your 588th and the ones before it are Ellie564, Bear Nation, Champagne Supernova 9, Dan Woody 97, and Ian 1884. Thank you, Stephen, and welcome to those people who are now subscribed. That outgifted the music. Too kind, everyone. Did the music stop? What happened? I don't know what happened, but and then one more for good luck from Nexus Polaris, who's given one to Luchadora the Explorer and ruined that nice round 31. Terrible. What a bad thing to have done, to have gifted another sub. No, I'm only joking. Thank you very much, Nexus Polaris, for another one for good luck. That's the same number as the biggest months. 31 days in all of the longest months. It's my reference point for what 31 means. We did it. We're here. It's time now, everyone, to watch the Children of Green Knowe. It's Christmassy, I assure you. It is a bit creepy. There are ghosts in it. and some slightly strange special effects, and we're going to have a great time. Thank you to Sinister Clown for subscribing via Prime for 8 months. Happy holidays to everyone at TripleJump. Thank you to you as well, Sinister Clown. Let's do it, shall we? End of term maths class, the teacher rolling in the TV, great vibes. That's what it is, yeah. And this is the kind of thing that your maths teacher would put on. He'd be like, we're going to watch something today. You'd be like, oh, hell yeah, last day of school, we get to watch something.
So gutted I can't join the stream.
And then they bring in something like this.
Watching today. My girlfriend and I watched the first episode of Box of Delights the other day.
Marco Ball, let me just say, thank you for the bits, very much indeed. And we're watching The Children of Green Knowe from 1986. In fact, I saw a fact had come through from Forgotten Media.
Sub popped up. Thank you, TTP.
Oh.
Everyone have a happy whatever you are doing.
Simon the Auctionman, sorry that your sub didn't pop up. I don't think I missed any as I was scrolling down, but then you wouldn't think, would you, that you missed any? Because the whole idea, if you knew, if I thought I had, then I would have gone back and done it. But thank you for the bits. Thank you for paying with bits just to get a message through. Much appreciated. Yeah, thank you very much for being subbed as well via Prime. Forgotten Media, I missed your first fact, actually. I had to scroll past it because I was doing alerts, but I will have a look at those in a minute. Yeah, let me just say, with regards to Marco Bar saying about you and your girlfriend watched the first episode of Box of Delights the other day, available on BritBox, but I've got the DVD, of course. My wife drives me halfway into work at the moment because she drives me to her place of work, and then right next door to that is a metro station, and I jump on that metro and then go the remainder of the journey. And in the car this morning, I mentioned what I was doing today on stream, and I said, oh yeah, 2 years ago did the Box of Delights, last year did Narnia, and she went, right, what is the Box of Delights? Because I keep seeing it coming at because every Christmas, newspapers do articles about it, and you sometimes see bits of it on social media, and people say, oh, it's one of I watch it every year, which I do. And Amy knows I watch it every year, but because it's a 1980s children's show, she's not ever been interested in giving it a go with me. And I said, well, if you're welcome to watch it with me. And she says, well, yeah, but, I say that to you, and, and do you, I suppose, and then she was like, I guess we do actually watch some of my shows together that I ask you to watch with me. And she was like, right, maybe I'll try the first episode because I've not started watching it this year. So I need to start, I need to get watching that this year because we're going away for Christmas in a few days. So I'm running out of time. And she said, well, I might give it a go. So I'm very excited that possibly I might finally get Amy to watch it with me this year. I really hope she just can stick with it and get something out of it, because I'm well aware of what it is and what that show means to some people. To some people it means not good things. It means, why is this so wonky and weird? Joe T or Joette1118 subscribed for via Prime for 42 months. Happy holidays. Thank you very much. There's already a rift in the marriage. Yeah, that's right. How could she not immediately fall in love with it? Well, we'll see. Yeah, could I get an annulment? Is that possible? Right, so I'm going to real quick, scroll up to that first fact that Forgotten Media posted. Oh, it's gone. I've scrolled past it. Oh no, here it is. Fact. The Children of Green Knowe aired at 5 p.m. on Wednesdays on BBC One between the 26th of November and the 17th of December 1986. So it would have finished 2 days ago. Years ago, right after John Craven's news round. Each episode was repeated on BBC Two the next Saturday. And then we had another fact, which was episode 1 aired the 26th of November. Margaret Thatcher's government launches a £20 million campaign to warn the public about AIDS. UK #1 movie is Top Gun. That's funny, they've been watching that upstairs today in the office. US #1 movie, Crocodile Dundee. Oh, it's all pop culture stuff. We've got the Human League, just sort of skimming through this because there's a lot of information in there. UK TV, a hidden camera practical joke series, Beadle's About, debuted on ITV. Fantasy shooter Legendary Wings debuted in arcades. Well, okay, how about that? There's a bit of context for you. Right, let's go. Let's do it. We need to do this now, otherwise it may never happen. So, if I do that, no, not that. If I do, hang on, which one is it? That, There you go, we've got a little player. I have done audio tests, it should be okay. I've got the subtitles burned in. We're good. Let me know if there are any issues. Let's enjoy the Children of... Let me know. Let me KNOEWWE, whatever. The music. Thanks, guys. I would not have... when I added the music, I was like, I must remember to... It's already a bit creepy, isn't it? We just got a slightly demented-looking rocking horse in the dark. I've always wanted a rocking horse, says Lolly Llama. We had one. It used to be my grandma's.
Toesland.
Don't know what happened to it.
Would you come up a moment, dear? Yes, ma'am. Walk, dear. Don't run. We don't want you to fall and hurt yourself. Yes, ma'am.
That, the subtitles are slightly cropped off, aren't they? I'll just bring them up a bit.
Come in, dear. We don't want to let the heat out, do we, Father? Yes, Miss Bud. Now, what do you think?
That's about right.
I've had a letter from your father. He writes to say he's heard from a relation of yours living here in England. Your poor dead mother's family.
My mother?
This kid...
Her family.
This kid looks like he's in the government, says Jeff the Molyneux. He really does, doesn't he? He really does.
Great-grandmother, in fact.
He looks like he's already started his first business.
All alone in that great house at her age. It's a wonder she isn't bedridden. She's written to say she wants her great-grandson to come and spend Christmas with her. So, now you have a place to go like the other boys after all. Won't that be jolly? I'm sure you'll have a wonderful time, dear. Now run along to your room, dear. We want to read the papers.
I mean, his name's Toesland.
Miss Bud.
I nearly forgot. Your new mother sends love to Toto.
Yes, Miss Bud.
Which he doesn't like being called. And that's just to, I guess, sow the seed that, oh, his poor dead mother, she was the sweet, nice one. And he's got this new stepmother who evidently is being nice to him, but he, you know, he just doesn't relate to her, I guess. Look out. All these things start with a kid on a steam train.
Live around here, son. I say, do your mum and dad live around here? Not seen you on this train before.
Miss
No,
Spud.
they live in Burma.
Burma?
Burma.
See that? Where are you going then?
I'm going to Mrs. L.M. Oldknowe at Green Knowe and to get off at Penny Soakey.
What's your name, dear?
Toesland.
What?
Toesland.
Rosalind?
Toesland.
Oh, Toesland. Oh, that's a good old-fashioned name round these parts. Well, there's Fen Toesland and Toesland and Agnes. And... What's your Christian name?
That is it. Toesland.
Oh.
Ah. Simon, thank you for subscribing to my Prime. Oh, it came
Penny
through.
Soakey's next station after this.
There it goes.
And don't forget, next station. And make sure there's some dry land when you get out the train. The floods are bad there. Well, cheerio. Merry Christmas. And watch out for old Green Knowe.
Green Knowe!
The land of toes. That's the etymology of Toesland. I think that's well established.
Was Green Knowe?
That is still kind of cropped, isn't it? Let me just go back to it was Green Knowe, and I'll just adjust it slightly. It was green. No, come back.
Was Green.
I'm going to get right up close to my monitor so I can see just how much it needs adjusting. Don't mind me. Step out of frame. The flipping red box around the outside is what gets me. means that I can't see where the edge is because the edge is covered up by an edge. That'll probably do, right? Hang on.
What's Green Knowe?
Sure, that's fine. First years, this way please, first years. Penny Soaky. Looks pretty soaked to me. Oh. Those place names are ridiculous and unbelievable. 100% accurate to England, 10 out of 10. Yeah, you're right. Bang on.
Are you Master Tollsland for the Green Knowe?
Yes, please.
Come on, then.
No one seems to be able to make their mind up as to whether it's Knowe or no.
Here on Christmas holiday?
I think it's because this is a taxi driver, and so like the woman on the train and this taxi driver.
Could be it'll rain 40 day and 40 night.
Oh, like Knowe. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, people who aren't from the house say it wrong, basically.
You want to get stuck here? This car don't float.
Is it far?
No, not very. Green Knowe stands almost in the middle. The river runs alongside. You won't be able to get out until the floods go.
How will I get in then?
Good question. So is this wartime, says Jeff the Mollygoose? I think this is 1930s. That blissful period between the wars where nothing bad happened ever.
Can you swim?
Yes, sir. I did 20 strokes last summer.
You'll have to do better than that. Perhaps if you feel yourself a sinking, you can manage a few more.
I think it's the 30s.
But it's getting quite dark. How will I know where to swim to?
Now that will be a problem, won't it? Mrs. Old Knowe should have thought of that.
Children of Green Knowe. See when it's set.
Is that Mr. Boggis?
I mean, it was written in 1954, so maybe it was just contemporary to the time, although this looks a bit older than the 50. Well, only a little older. When is Green Knowe set? Don't know where I've got it in my head from that it's set in the 30s, but I have picked that up from somewhere. Okay, let's continue. I'll find out.
Well, Master Tollsland, I knew your mother when she was just about your size. Yeah, I'll take that. Right in the boat. Careful now, don't slip. There we are. Right, okay, you'll be all right now. Right. Good night, you both.
Night. Thank you.
You're welcome, lad.
Mr. Boggis is our Hagrid character. We're going to get to know him.
I bet you was wondering just how you was going to get home.
I was going to swim.
Can't obviously find out when it was set right now, but somewhere in my head is the 30s. Maybe I'm just copying that from the Box of Delights, but yeah, I don't know.
It's Noah's Ark.
Green Knowe.
See, he says no. People who are part of the house say it right. Say it right! It's chowder! Whereas people from the village who don't know any better say Noah.
Let's get in. I'd love to see your great-grandmother's face when she claps eyes on you.
Where is Children of Green Knowe set? You know, I just don't know.
Witch Hazel. I'll tell her you're here.
Witch Hazel. Could she be a witch, everybody? Looks like 40 to 41. Looks like an evacuee tag on his jacket. Says empty shoebox. I don't think it's a... So it does look like an evacuee tag on his jacket. But he's definitely not an evacuee.
All right, Master Toesland.
He's not an evacuee in the story. But maybe they use those tags when ferrying any children off on the train around about that period of history. Therefore, it could be late 30s, early 40s. But this is not... I'm pretty sure this is not set during either of the World Wars. So, yeah, I think it's 30s. I don't know where I've read that, but I think it is. The 40s and 50s in Britain were very similar to the 30s because we were broke after the war and there was zero progress, says Puck George. I mean, that's true, but yeah. I think it's between the two wars, personally. Oh.
So, you've come back.
Why do you say come back?
I wondered whose face it would be of all the faces I've known. They always come back. You're your grandfather.
Did he live here?
Yes. So do you.
But I live at St. Boniface Academy.
For a whole year, I never knew you were in England. And your house was waiting for you here the whole time.
Is it my house too, then? I mean, partly.
Of course it is. Partly, as you say. Now,
She does look a bit like Anthony Hopkins. Edu says Maggie Smith. It's funny you say that because there was a much later film adaptation of one of the books, and Maggie Smith played this character in it.
Name. I'm glad you're a Toesland, because I should always be calling you Tolly anyway. That's what I called your grandfather. What do they call you at school?
Towser.
And at home?
My stepmother calls me Toto, but I hate it.
Ah, well, we're used to Toesland here. Do you mind, Tolly?
No. My mother called me that. What should I call you?
Granny. What does one generation more or less matter?
Grandpa Toesland.
Why do you live in a castle?
Why not? Castles were meant to be lived in.
Do things happen in it?
I'm glad you've come. It would be lovely for me.
The classic story of
Hey, look, with a lantern. I claimed the house was Noah's Ark.
child in the early
It
1900s
was the ark.
goes to the country into a big magical house.
What sort of things happen in it? This house.
Wait and see.
Would you like some tea with your milk?
See what happens.
I think that was just hot milk. You have that before bed sometimes.
Something will, I'm sure.
Like a posset made by the inspector of police.
And explore the inside of the house, up and down.
I found something that says it's definitely post-World War II, says Techi Wayo. Oh, right, okay. Could be post-World War II. Late 40s? Early 50s? Maybe it's set just around about when it was written, which was 1954. So... Oh. Oh. What was
This
that?
house, everything is twice.
One of the strange phrases you get in shows like this, all he means is there are a lot of mirrors, even though that's the only one mirror we've seen. But this is based off a real house that did apparently have a lot of mirrors in it.
It's this house.
Yeah, that exactly. That's what I'm... Yes,
There's the fireplace.
that's kind of cool.
And the stairs. Look, it's this room.
Does it have a...
4 beds. Are there sometimes other children
Does it have a
here?
tiny doll's house in it with a tiny
Sometimes.
doll's house in it?
Who are they?
You'll see when they come. If they come. Now, into bed with you.
When do they come?
When they like. Now, is there anything you want in bed with you? Any book or photo to put under your pillow?
Photo?
No, thank you.
All right then. My room is underneath
May I have the mouse, please?
Toby's mouse.
Silent Cobb subscribed. Thank you for 30 months. That's a long time.
Oh, clock's not wound.
What's in the trunk?
Oh, the key's lost. I don't know what's in it.
Boring Loner says they used to put iodine into milk after it's boiled
Well,
to kill all the bacteria and make the
really,
milk drinkable
another
again.
Toosland.
Sadly, TB bacteria isn't killed by iodine, so essentially they just cleared the way for the TB to have the milk all to itself before drinking it. Yummy. Oh dear. Let me go back a bit.
Good night.
Only 4 episodes of this, by the way, so it'll only take us around 2
I
hours.
don't know what's in it.
That's a satisfying
Who's Toby?
twist.
Well, really another Toosland. Toby for short. Now, sleep well. My room's underneath here. You can knock on the floor if you want anything. Good night.
Yeah.
Good night.
Merry Bitmas one and all. Hope all is well at
Welcome
Triple Jump
home.
Towers.
Thank you, Eldu Brothers, for the 100 bits. Merry Bitmas one and all. I just realised that alerts box perfectly covers up the subtitles. So she talks over the top of the speech and also hides the subtitles. I might, next time it comes up, I might just shrink it down a little bit. In fact, I can do it now, I think.
Yeah.
This is a test bit alert.
That'll do. Next is Polaris. Thank you for gifting a sub. 30-second gift sub. It's gone to Big Fat Spaceman OG.
Yeah.
This is a best look at it.
You want to go in there?
Thank you, Addy, for the
Don't! I can't see you.
best tit alert.
It is the Ark.
Yes. All the children call it the Ark. Your grandfather did. He learnt it from his father, who learnt it from his, and so on, right away back.
Granny, when I was in bed, I heard the horse rock, but when I looked, it was quite still.
Oh. And did the mouse squeak?
No, does it?
You seem ready for anything. That's something. Now, get dressed and come down for breakfast.
I'll give you 3 old green
Grow the rushes so. I looked up the cast and apparently the grandma/old lady is the woman who used to say, "Are we sitting comfortably? Then we'll begin" from Listen with Mother. Oh, really?
to the lily white boys, clothed all in green. Oh, on these warm
Here's tea. Nice and hot.
God, I could do with a cup of tea right now.
That's the birdcage in my room.
Yes, it was Linnet's.
That was my mother's name.
It's my name, too.
Is the doll's house Linnet's?
No, it was mine when I was a little girl. I was brought up by an uncle because I was an orphan.
Didn't you have any brothers or sisters?
No. I used to pretend that I had. I was lonely. That's why I put 4 beds in the doll's house.
They were looking at me.
I'm not surprised. They must be tired of looking at me. The boy with the sword is Toby.
Toby.
And the one with the flute is Alexander. And the little girl is Linnet. Oh, more toast.
Who's the creepy old lady in the middle?
Granny, I still play with the mouse.
Oh, I don't think Toby would mind. Just mind you don't lose him.
To the lily white boys, clothed all in green. Oh, one is one and all alone, and evermore shall be so. I'll give you.
So when we can hear stuff like this, I think the idea is that he can actually hear that. So he heard the flute playing there.
Morning, Master Toesland.
You don't always know if that's just him sort of,
Did you go in the boat?
if it's just a musical
No,
accompaniment
Master
to his
I came in my waders.
imagination
Water's
or
going down
something.
lovely. Morning, ma'am.
Oh, yes, good morning. Did you bring the Yule log?
Just going to cut him now, ma'am. Shall I take him out to the stables and keep him out of your way?
Oh, he's not in my way at all, but I expect he'd like to go.
Yes, please. Do you want to read the newspapers now?
Good gracious, no, child. Why would I want to do that? The world doesn't alter every day.
Ain't he the fair spit of his grandfather? Might be the same come back.
I think he belongs. It's all hidden in him somewhere. Oh, don't forget your mouse, Toby.
You called me Toby.
So I did. I was forgetting.
A Yule log.
Do you live here?
Depends what you call living. When I'm awake, I'm mostly here. But when I go home, I mostly sleeps.
It's like me, this office.
When
They're gone now.
Mr. Black says,
They was fine horses.
we're
when
used to
lad.
Toesland here. Immediately
Shining
calls
like
him
the
the
sun,
wrong name.
All dressed up like lords.
I mean, in her defense,
I
all of
remember
those
when they
kids
was
were
let
all
out,
called Toesland, but
Their
yeah.
hooves 'ud strike sparks out the cobbles. They'd shake their bridles. Oh, they were a proper eyeful. Your grandfather, Mr. Toesland as was, he was a rare and wee horse. He could do anything with him, just by breathing secrets down their ears.
I believe he's eating sugar cubes. What's his flipping name? Tolly. Because that's what you do when you're a child. You just have a whole sugar cube in your mouth. I did that once when I was about 13, and it made me feel really unwell. It was just, well, just, you know, it was just sickly. I was like, oh Christ, what have I done this for? It wasn't a sugar cube, to be fair. It was slightly fancier. We were at a hotel cafe, and they brought my mum a tea or a coffee or something, and it was like this stick with all this crystallized sugar on the end of it. Like, it was almost like a lolly, and she gave it to me because it was on a stick. She was like, you can have that if you want. If you want to just have a load of sugar, go for it. And I did, and it was not nice. And now the thought of sucking a sugar cube makes me feel unwell. So again, he can almost hear this. He sort of can. Clip clop.
Master Toesland, trust you to get into the haunted stall. Was you looking for Master Toby's horse?
Whose horse?
Oh, I ain't no good at history. One of the young masters, just like you. Folks do say they can hear his horse at night, whinnying for him.
Have you ever heard him?
Sleeps at home, I tell you. And that's where I dreams.
You haven't put any hay for him.
Ghosts don't eat hay.
They might like to pretend to.
Fair point.
Look at that. Come on, time for your tea.
I've now got an image of a man whispering cheat codes into horses' ears after hearing he told them secrets. Yeah. So he had at least 3 sugar cubes he'd taken with him to just suck on during the day.
Now turn round so I can see if you've got dirt on your trousers. Oh,
The fashion is definitely not post-50s. The stuff that he's wearing, the long socks and the cardi, the jumper.
Toby have a horse?
Boggis has been telling
But
you
it could be
stories.
post-war, if that's what it says on the
Toby
internet.
had a horse. Toby had Festi, and Alexander had a white pony called Bucephalus. But poor Lynette wasn't allowed a horse of her own. She had to ride in a pannier behind her mother. Or Boggis.
What colour was he?
Boggis?
No, Bestie.
Beautiful golden colour. White mane, white feet, and he jumped like a cat.
Oh, look at that tea. It's
He
like
and Toby
dishwater.
loved each other more than anything on earth.
I think a deer seems more magic than a horse.
Beautiful fairy tale magic. But a horse that thinks the same thoughts as you do is like strong magic wine.
Private schools kept that fashion going for years, though. Some still do. No, fair point.
A Vestie.
That is true.
Oh, of course. Generally it's sundown. There were other horses here, but I could always tell Vesta's voice. It was quite individual.
Is my room too far to him? If he did,
I don't think it's too far.
then excuse me, please.
He's going right now.
Granny, why is it called Green Knowe? A lady on the train told me to watch out for Green Knowe. I thought it was Green Knowe.
It was for our family. It got changed a long time ago.
Why was it changed?
No more questions tonight, Tolly. I don't believe I ever heard Festi from here.
Oh, intrigue. Mystery and
With
intrigue.
you.
I feel as though I lived here always.
State of that tea. Disgusting. This program is basically what 99% of Brexit voters thought they would get. I mean, I guess so, yeah. In a way.
Mouse, mouse, where have you been? This house is full of eyes, all looking at me. Linnet?
Oh,
Linnet?
don't like that.
Where are you? Are you teasing me?
He's like fine with this.
Good night.
That's awful. Kid is already losing his mind. Listen to these whispers. Maybe it wasn't loud enough for you.
Linnet?
I don't know if the subtitles
This house is full
are
of
accurate
eyes,
either. I think it's meant to be inaudible,
all
but
looking at me.
the transcribers had a go at... Listen to this.
Linnet?
I'd be losing my mind. Oh, in a dark room like that. It's your second night in this house and
Linnet?
off they go. ASMR,
Where
yeah.
are you?
The books were written from 1954 to 1976 and this show is from 1986. Yeah, that's right. I suspect it... Maybe the book is just... Maybe this is just set... Or the book is just set around the time that the book was published. So this might be early 50s, something like that. Could be. Late 40s, early 50s. That's what we're going to settle on, I think. That's when this is set. So that was the end of episode 1 of 4. What could we expect for the next one? Well, we're going to see it right now. Wet mouth sounds. Yeah, it was great, wasn't it? Granny, what was in that tea? Oh, Barley says, so is the Boggis immortal or something? Well, I think it's a bit like Baldric. I think the Boggises have been in service of the old Knowe family for generations. So I don't think that is the same Boggis she was talking about. It's set sometime in the 1920 to 1990 area, says Mr. Black. Yeah, that's it.
Tolly? Tolly, it's time to get up. It's time to get up. Look, the floods have all gone in the night. Come and see. Quick.
Yeah.
Happy 420 BBBB blazed my dude's Lord 16 dab.
What's that on the
Well,
grass?
since we are watching some festival
one of
TV series
Toby's
today,
cup.
here are some television jokes. What is a squirrel's favorite way to watch TV? Netflix. Ha ha ha. What shows do ducks watch on television? Documentaries. Hi-e. Why don't salmon watch cable television? They prefer streams. Ho ho ho. What is a dolphin's favorite game show? Wheel of Fortune. Ha-ooh-ooh. What TV station do people on a diet have to avoid? M&M TV. Hi-hoo. Moggy Land of the Toes.
Yeah.
BBBBBBBBB. Merry Blazmas everyone.
Thank you, Lord Brotovich and Stephen Skodas for your 100 bits each. It's much appreciated. It's 420, everyone. Blaze it, my dudes. It's the sex number. Thank you for the TV jokes as well. A squirrel's favourite way to watch TV? Netflix. Oh dear, that sounds a bit dodgy. Oh, hang on, let's go back a bit. There we go.
Quick.
Var, thank you very much for subscribing for
What's that on the grass?
43 months.
Oh, it's one of Toby's carp from the moat. Silly thing, it got left behind. Quick, Tolly, get dressed, go down and throw it back into the moat.
God, they've just got an actual carp just lying on the grass there. You could do this back in the day. It wasn't cruel. It was allowed on BBC.
Mr. Boggis! Come quickly! It's dying! Help it! It's dying!
Get a grip, Toastland.
It's one of Master Toby's, sure enough. My, what a size he's grown to.
Quick, throw the fish back in the water, but get dressed first. Yeah.
Is it dead? It's awfully ugly.
Tain't no booty. No more will you be when you're 100 years old. Master Toby always used to feed him with bread.
It is dead.
Sure enough. It was.
All right, Boggis, we don't need your
May I
sark.
feed him too?
There's a platform over the pool near the chapel. Call him Neptune.
Thank you. Neptune?
You can hear more flute. Mate, not everyone who is ugly is dead. Is it dead? It looks ugly. It looks dead. It's dead. Carp visibly moving. Mr. Boggis has got the Lazarus effect. He's trying to find the flute player.
Hello?
What? Nuts to you, Boggis. This was made in 1986, so you're dead now too, says Boring Loner. Oh no. F's in the chat for Boggis.
Hello?
We stand Boggis.
Are you Toby's dear?
Far. Had to put the shopping away. Has anyone died? Has TP been cancelled for anything? Says Lolly Llama. A fish died, but then it was alive again because it wasn't ugly or something. Didn't really quite follow the logic. And there appear to be actual ghosts that this child is hearing. A peacock. He seems completely uninterested in the rabbit. Neptune.
Neptune?
It just happens to be there. Oh, and there's a live deer.
I heard that! I heard you! Where are you? home. 1, 2, 3.
He's playing I Spy, just to translate that. He's it.
6.
And when he catches them, they have to run to the stone man.
9, 10.
Oh. Piece of wood. T. T for Tolly. Toes
When I
land.
first came here, I thought these were magic flowers.
Oh? Did you think I was a witch?
Before I saw you.
Well, this flower is called Wintersweet. And this is Daphne. She was turned into a laurel bush.
The tea cozy. Oh, the state of that tea. I can't get over it.
I've seen the green deer. And all the other green things.
Oh? Which did you see?
The deer. And the rabbit. And the peacock.
And?
And the squirrel.
And what else did you do?
Played hide and seek.
All by yourself?
No, with those other children. I mean, I was pretending.
She knows.
Granny,
Yes.
has Toby got a real sword?
Oh, yes.
That's you sitting near him.
Oh, that's the children's grandmother. Now make up a great blaze, Tolly, and I'll tell you a story. What shall it be about?
Tell me a story about Festy, please.
Once upon a time, when the floods were out, and most of the country was covered with water.
Didn't have any better tea before, during, or after the war, Peter. No, that's true. They didn't have Yorkshire tea back then. No tea, but they had they had enough sugar to be sticking it in their pockets and feeding it to ghost horses.
Her mother would have liked to call in the doctor, but he lived many miles away on the other side of the river.
What am I to do, Mother? If the stable boy were to leave now, perhaps...
Young fool. I'd never trust a horse alone with him on flooded roads.
If you would let me go, Mother, Festy and I would be quite trustworthy.
No. I should be more anxious about you than I am about Lynette.
Oh, favouritism.
I'm so pure. And it's growing so dark, and who knows how the water is rising.
Festy can see in the dark, Mother. If I go now, the doctor can be here this evening.
Oh, Toby. Perhaps if I'd let you go earlier, all might have been well, but now...
Lynette!
Toby, go. Go quickly. Tell him...
Oh, she changed her mind. Make up a great blaze, Tolly. Blaze it, Tolly. And I'll tell you a story. It's the sex number, Tolly. Make up a great blaze. If only there were a bridge over the river, says Duke McChicken. Well, there is. It's right there.
Stupid horse! Lynette is dying!
But the horse won't go over the bridge.
Bessie! Stop! Please stop!
He's swimming over.
Mad, crazy horse!
Because the bridge was going to collapse. They would have died. Clever horse. Good old Festy. Stock lightning sound effects. Yeah, they are, aren't they? Classic thunderclaps.
Off the hold now. Don't no bear
fever and cannot breathe.
Martha, bring lanterns. Call the crew. Tell him to saddle the mare at once.
You must go round by Penny Soapy, sir. The wooden bridge is down.
You come inside, my boy. Martha will see to your needs, and the groom will see to Feste.
I'd like to see to Festy myself, sir. Nobody grooms him but me. And tonight especially I must.
The horse is a bridge whisperer. Yeah. It's pretty embarrassing when your horse is smarter than you. Yeah.
Behold, thou art fair, my love. Behold, thou art fair.
Thine
What?
eyes are as dove's eyes within thy locks. Thy neck is like the Tower of David, builded for an armoury, whereon there hangeth
1,000 bucklers, all shields of mighty men. Oh, my wonderful Feste, my golden eagle, my powerful otter, my wise horse.
My powerful otter.
Stay. Good boy. Come on. Come on.
Famous word association. Sly fox, wise owl, powerful otter. Oh, hello. What's he got? And key. Could it be for the locked chest that's been locked for goodness knows how long? Oh, he's a good boy. She'd be very disappointed if he opened it without her. Oh.
Tolly, what a hurry you're in for breakfast this morning. I found something. What have you found? Come and see. They can come too. Who can? Come on.
This child is like completely fine with just occasionally hearing children's voices in this house, but never seeing them.
It's Alexander's flute.
She didn't even blow in it then. She didn't even mime blowing in it. Watch her mouth. She just smiles over the top of the flute.
Alexander's flute.
Watch her mouth. Unbelievable.
Oh, look, there's the Aeneid. That's Alexander's book. In the picture. And this is Lilith's Aesop's Fables. Her favourite was the ass in the lion's skin. And Merlin the sorcerer. And Mort Arthur. Wait. Oh, dominoes. Ivory from China.
Oh, good. An elephant died for those.
And...
What's that? You've seen it before. I know. It's the deer's collar. That's Toby's.
So I missed this. I think in that portrait there's a deer. Toby's got a deer that he sort of... The implication is maybe he rides it or something, and that's why ages ago Tolly said, when they were talking about horses, he was like, I think a deer seems more magical. And she's like, oh yeah, but not as good as a horse. So that's why Toby had a deer. I don't know if you actually rode it, but yeah, he had a deer.
Just lovely.
Something for Lynette now. She's only got a book. This must be her doll.
It's from Holland. When their father, Captain Old Knowe, went to The Hague.
Because he was on trial for war crimes.
Can you guess?
His sword.
Wow. He nearly had her eye out then.
Putting swords into the bedclothes.
What's your eye? Oh.
Stop putting swords into the bedclothes.
Did Toby use it?
Well, he didn't stick it into people, if that's what you mean. But he did learn to fence, and he wore it every Sunday when he went to church.
Yeah, that's what I wear to church.
Would you like to have it?
May I? Doesn't he want it anymore?
Don't take it back to school.
Granny? Has he got another? Why doesn't he want it anymore?
Because he's dead, Tolly. How stupid are you? Has he not worked this out yet?
I know.
Oh, okay.
I knew that.
And yet.
All of them.
They all died together in the Great Plague.
Oh, God.
Their Boggis went to London on business and
There, Boggis. There you go,
brought
yeah.
the infection back with him.
Oh, Boggis, for God's sake.
Alexander and Lynette and their mother all died on the same day. And little Boggis too. Only the old grandmother was left. Too unhappy to cry. But it all happened a long time ago.
Yeah, and you weren't even alive, so I don't think you were. No. So I'm not really sure why she's so sad about it. I mean, it is sad that, you know, they all died in a plague, but...
Time for breakfast.
She's sort of got a face on her as though she was there and she misses them.
Mr. Boggis!
Your granddad had the plague. Nah, nah. Old plaguey Boggis boy. Here he comes. Where's Boggis? Plague boy, Boggis. Has Granny been... Oh, it's eaten the sugar cubes.
Toby, Alexander, and Lynette.
And tea for Tolly. That's what they gave him. 2 more sugar cubes.
Tolly.
Carries them everywhere. Has Granny been dead this whole time and they sixth sensed us? No, no. I believe Granny is a normal, relatively normal woman.
I spy! Where are you?
I'm not entirely sure, culturally, historically, why he sometimes shouts, I spy at them. I think it's... I don't know if that's him saying, if that's a way of saying I see you or I'm looking for you. But I'm aware of the game I Spy, obviously, but when he's trying to, he can hear them and he's chasing around trying to find them. He shouts, I spy at them, and I don't really quite understand what that means. I spy, I spy. But it smells good up there in the hayloft.
Come out!
Again, completely unfazed. Being in the creepy-ass hayloft with 3 ghosts who died of plague. I mean, maybe we should all take a leaf out of his book and not assume that ghosts are gonna be nasty to us. Under the assumption that, you know, in a world where ghosts exist, I mean. But, you know, normally you would assume, oh no, creepy child ghost. Oh.
I'm not playing anymore. I'm not playing.
So he's sad because they're sort of hiding from him. It's not because he's scared, but I think he thinks that they're basically just taking the mick. All the animals that you see in this are basically, they're sort of ghost animals or time apparition animals. So the deer we've seen, the rabbit, and the bird in the bird cage.
I spy.
You see them in like the paintings and
Toby.
and the deer that we've seen. And that dog as well. One of them had a spaniel.
Toby! Where are you? Where are you? Toby! Wait! Fisty! Toby, wait! Please wait! Wait for Dolly!
Just clambering through the undergrowth. Christ.
He's here, Toby! Toby! Oh, please wait!
Right, now take note of that. It's hard to even see, like, initially, but... See, it's got a face. There's an eye there, and a nose, and a big sort of... Great big bushy beard, but it's a kind of a tree. So it's... I'm not entirely sure if it's meant to just be a tree and we can see a face in it, or if it's like a sculpture, like it's a green man. He refers to it as the Green Man later. But whether it's meant to be just a tree that has a flipping face or, you know, naturally, or if it's some kind of sculpture, again, that's never quite explicitly stated. But he refers to it as the Green Man anyway.
I'm not going to play with you.
Oh, how festive. How festy. It's snowing. It is the Christmas holidays, by the way, in this show. That's why it counts as a Christmas. It ends on Christmas. So, suitably... Oh, there they are. So they are out there. Only 2 episodes left now. We're halfway. What's going on? Yeah, it's actually the Green Knowe, or the Green Knower, rather than the Green Man. You're right, actually. They don't call it the Green Man in this, but yeah.
Powerful otter.
Oh, look at him go. Oh, my powerful otter. My just skip ahead. Let's go. My powerful otter.
Powerful otter.
Oh my God.
My golden eagle. My powerful otter. My wise horse. My golden eagle. My powerful
floss her.
To be fair, he must be bored stiff. Man, I'd love to have a big book like that. Aesop's Fables. Look at that. Very satisfying pages.
Lynette?
Jesus. That's Tolly Pop.
Right. You can't look either.
Has subscribed. Tolly! No, it's that Ollie Pop, but there's a T at the end of that, so it's that Tolly Pop. That Ollie Pop has subscribed via Prime for 2 months. That's a good freeze frame we've got there, isn't it? Murray Crimus, Walrus Fam. Thank you very much, that Ollie Pop, for subscribing for 2 months.
No! No!
Oh my God! They're poltergeists. I Spy.
Oh, leave me alone! Leave me alone!
Okay, clearly it means I can see you. So he actually saw them there in the mirror. In this house, everything is twice, including the flipping ghosts.
I Spy! I Spy! Oh, leave me alone! Leave me alone! Not fair! Not fair!
Tolly? Tolly, what's wrong? Oh, what's the matter?
They won't play with me. They just hide and tease me.
Oh, has someone been teasing you?
Those children, they're here. I saw them.
Which children, Tolly?
Those children, Alexandra and Lynette. You said they were dead, but they're not. They're here. I saw them.
You said they were dead. I thought this was a Christmas stream, not a Halloween one, says Lally Llama. It is a bit creepy, isn't it?
You don't hear them. Don't you hear them?
Shall we let them in?
Or is this just actual carol singers?
After all, it sounds very sad to say they're dead, but it really doesn't make much difference.
Oh, they're just...
The old grandmother soon found they were still here.
No, it is ghosts.
They're like shy animals. They don't come just at first till they're sure. You mustn't be impatient. Toesland. Listen. Listen. Festy.
Is that CGI snow, says Pup George.
2 lumps of sugar for him, and both times I came back and they were gone.
Perhaps Boggies took them and put them in his tea.
Spoil sport.
But you do see them, Granny.
Not always. In the very beginning, I only saw them sometimes. In mirrors.
I do. At least Alexandra and Lynette. Once.
Oh, Toby's always the rarest. He's so often with Festy.
Have you ever seen Festy?
Never. But my grandfather knew someone who did. You see how much quicker the shadow horse goes than the rocking horse? I used to pretend that it had Festy's shadow instead of its own.
Who saw him? Vesti, I mean.
Ah. My grandfather knew two people who certainly must have seen Feste one night. They were horse thieves. Gypsies.
All right, let's not.
Ferdy and his old mother, Petronella.
Romany, the Romany people. Travellers. God, they're a bit caricaturish, aren't they?
In those days, my grandfather kept many beautiful horses. But although he could have done with more stable room, one stall was always kept empty, in case Feste decided to stay the night. Well, one dark night, when Black Ferdy and Petronella paid the stables a visit, Feste came too.
Oh. Ghost horse.
Non questo. Non questo davvero. No, non questo cavallo. Dimmelo. Lascialo.
Is this how you go about stealing a horse? Do you have to whack them? Whoa. Oh, barn owl. Oh, right, he's scared of the flipping barn owl. I'd love to see that. If I was staying in some big country... Oh, right, but not the ghost. This is unbelievable. If I was staying in... Oh, she pushes it off. She's not interested in the fact that there's an actual barn owl at the window.
My feet are cold. It's a punishment because I said my prayers in bed tonight. I hope it doesn't come back.
I'll go next time.
Matthew, Mark, Luke and John. That's the bed that I lie on. If I should
You're
die...
saying them in bed again.
I know, but he's going to get punished for me next time. He said so.
No, he just shares a room with two actual apparitions. Oh yeah, the other 3 beds aren't even in this room. They're just implied by the fact that the doll's house has 4 beds in it. Oh, it snowed. How festy. Oh, it's the classic Box of Delights snow. I don't want to ruin the illusion for you, although maybe you've spotted it. It's just foam. It is simply fire extinguisher foam. Look at it. It looks great static, but as soon as they step in it, it goes squelch. There's the green man. He's all frozen. The green Knowe. Green Knowe. It's all very confusing. I don't know quite what he is. Green Knowe, I think he is. That's something to do with why the name was changed. So their name is Green Knowe, or it's green. The house is Green Knowe, Knowe, but the creepy green man is called Green Knowe, and we sort of learn more about that in these last 2 episodes. I think you can hear this music again. You can hear the flute. All three of them. The deer and Toby. There's a pigeon.
Let me have the mouse, please, Alexander. What is too dreamy?
Nonsense. What is lovely magic? Have you never seen him dancing with his bride at twilight? He's cousin to the leprechaun, and a distant relation of Festes.
What? Oh, they've gone. He's still holding a rabbit? No. Oh, she's pretending to blow now. That's good. Right. Now, this conversation that they have, they both get really excited, and they talk in the language of Tiny Peter's 1980s BBC TV adaptations of like middle class people. That's how they speak. It's such a strange exchange that happens that they're both like they're just in on it together, talking bollocks.
You've seen them, haven't you? All three?
In the garden.
That's because of the deer. It always goes there when the snow's deep.
It was wonderful. Then the peacock came along and spoiled it.
Oh, was it wearing its crown?
Yes, on its stupid little head.
On the end of a long neck like a hosepipe?
Yes. Couldn't decide whether it had hands or feet.
It lifts up its toes like the hands of grand ladies, as if it wore rings and was looking for its handbag.
Then it scratches its ear with them.
It's deaf, needs an ear trumpet.
Then it and its wife could shriek at each other in turn.
I wonder what would happen if you trod on its tail.
It would hiccup.
What? Sorry, what can we have all that again from the top? Why did they both laugh at it would hiccup? It would hiccuff, he actually says. As though that's like a really clever punchline. If you trod on its tail, it would hiccuff. It and its wife, it's just a load of bollocks. They just talk absolute nonsense for like a minute.
Don't you? All three?
In the garden.
That's because of the deer. It always goes there when the snow's deep.
It was wonderful. Then the peacock came along and spoiled it.
Did it?
Was it wearing its crown?
Yes, on its stupid little head.
On the end of a long neck like a hosepipe?
Yes. Couldn't decide whether it had hands or feet.
It lifts up its toes like the hands of grand ladies, as if it wore rings and was looking for its handbag.
Then it scratches its ear with them.
It's deaf, needs an ear trumpet.
Then it and its wife could shriek at each other in turn.
I wonder what would happen if you trod on its tail.
It would hiccup.
Baffling.
Would you like a lesson?
Yes, please. But Alexander had it. How can there be two of it?
Oh, this was the one he had. The one he has now is part of him. There, curl your fingers round like that.
Right, he's going to have his first lesson. Here we go.
Blow.
That's it. He just...
You certainly have Alexander's music in you.
I don't envy those actors having to figure out how to read those lines. Yeah, I know. Imagine that.
And I will tell you a story.
Imagine having to... just reading that script and thinking, right, we know what to do.
There's music in you. Now, make up a great blaze, Tolly, and I will tell you a story.
Make up a great blaze, Tolly. Blaze it. It's the sex number, my dudes. Moggy Dab.
shall it be about?
Tell me a story about Alexander, please.
The children's father was a ship's captain, and he spent most of his life at sea. On one of his rare visits home, he took the whole family to Great Church to dine with friends and then to see some of the sights. In particular, the church, famous for its stained glass.
The church,
and
at Great
its
Church.
music.
This boy is in awe at the church because back in the olden days where he's from, that's the kind of thing that would really get you going as a child, I think. NG Plus Live, welcome to the chat. Hello, how you doing? Hope you're enjoying this. It's not what we usually do here on Triple Jump, but here we are. It's a bit of a... This is going places, this song. So Alexander is the flautist.
It's Merlin's palace.
Oh, I've done my neck in now. Well, here he goes. So he's a musical talent, this boy. This does sound like rock and or roll. You're right.
Stay there! On your life!
Oh. Is he in trouble for singing in church? Everyone knows it's not a place to be sung in, right? Especially about things like Gabriel. There's a time and a place to be singing songs about angels.
What is your name, boy? Where are you from? Who is your father? No. Where is he? Is he here? Answer me quickly. Good, excellent. Take me to him at once.
That will not be necessary, as he is here, sir.
Dear sir, dear lady, I cannot take a refusal. I cannot let him go. It is a miracle, calling me by name. Gabrielle, Gabrielle. You must admit it was startling.
What is this all about? Why are you dragging my son about as though he were a malefactor?
No, malefactor, dear lady. An angel, the voice of an angel. I cannot let him go. Gabrielle McTavish at your service.
Captain Oldknow.
Delighted.
Captain Oldknow.
To arrange a musical diversion for His Gracious Majesty next month. But my best boy's voice is breaking. I cannot take the risk. My second boy is sick. I was in despair. But now we have only to make an arrangement.
An arrangement? An arrangement for what, sir?
Sir, to sing. I cannot take a refusal. This boy must sing. He must sing before the king.
The dad is the best character since Forgotten Media. That's the king. King, you know, King... George Wood, William, Charles, Henry. Hush now, the king is in the room. Oh, he smiled, it's okay.
Master Mercury.
Off with your head, boy. You were terrible.
These ladies desire to know you better.
Oh, do they?
You have given us and our companions pleasure, and we should wish to give you some token of it. In your present nakedness, however, it is impossible to guess what you might lack. Have you any boy's wish your king might supply?
Your Majesty, I would like a flute.
Then you shall have it.
Could have asked for anything, Master Mercury. I'd have asked for a palace. Your Majesty, I should like to become heir to the throne. Gabriel! No, it's just Lily Llama. He's just got a flute for the first time.
I have never been taught, Your Majesty.
Not even a note?
He's going to do a tolly, isn't he? He's just going to play ba-ba-da-ba. Of course he is. I've never been taught, Your Majesty. Oh, steady, don't slip on the fire extinguisher foam. Look at it under his feet. Look at it. So sloppy. Now here's Wonderwall. Oh. It's the only song that exists in this timeline. It is. That's what everyone plays. They're all here, including the deer. Staring right down the lens. That that deer was scared by the cameraman. Look. The deer breaks the fourth wall. Cameraman comes around the corner, the deer's like, holy crap, what is this?
Where is your mother? Where is your mother?
Dead off plague.
In heaven, of course, ignoranti. But she doesn't mind if we come.
So they're all in heaven.
No.
Oh, what a question to ask. If I was finally in with these ghosts, my second question to them would not be, was the Great Plague awful?
She doesn't mind if we come.
Was the Great Plague awful? No. It only lasted a few hours. I'd forgotten all about it.
Have you seen the Green Man? Over there, by the fish platform. Taller than the Stone Man.
He means Green Knowe.
Keep away from him.
I'm not afraid of him. I call him St. Christopher.
I didn't mean you, little flippity gibbert. I mean him.
I'm not afraid. I made up a rhyme to tease him.
Right. That's a bit confusing because she says, I call him St. Christopher. I think she means she's talking about the Stone Man rather than Green Knowe, the Green Man. So that statue that we saw that was holding a boy is a statue of St. Christopher. Because St. Christopher apparently in the Bible, I think, carried the baby Jesus, the infant Jesus over, I don't know, might have been the River Jordan, might have been some kind of deluge. He carried Jesus over, I think, some water, and then later became a saint for some reason or other. So I think she's getting confused what they're talking about, and she says, I call him St. Christopher, and she's talking about the Stone Man, but then she realizes they're talking about the Green Man, Green Knowe.
Afraid of him? I call him St. Christopher.
I didn't didn't mean you, little flippity gibbert. I mean him.
I'm not afraid. I made up a rhyme to tease him. I dance round and round and I sing, Green Knowe, a demon tree, evil fingers can't catch me. Green Knowe, a demon tree, evil fingers can't catch me.
That's entertainment for
Where's
you.
the
And
peacock? I expected sulking because you and Granny laughed at it so much.
The only thing the peacock's good for is that it gives warning if Green Knowe walks.
How did you know that we were laughing at it?
I was in the ingle nook. Alexander was in your chair.
Yesterday. How come I couldn't see him?
Well, you was to sing in the same place, so how could you?
true.
It's as if you were in the same person.
Off they go. So the peacock will warn if Green Knowe walks. You flippity gibbet, flippity gibbet.
Green Knowe. Demon tree.
Look at the foam on his boots.
Green Knowe, demon tree. Evil fingers can't catch me.
There he is. You can't really see his face anymore, but
Demon tree. Evil fingers can't catch me. Green Knowe, demon tree. Evil fingers can't catch me.
well, I remember watching this for the first time thinking, we've only got one episode left. Is there going to be any kind of climax here? What's happening? Although we have planted a seed, haven't we? That Green Knowe may or may not be inclined to walk at some point. And also, Granny hasn't told us why the name was changed. There seems to be some sort of bad secret or something. In a world of ghosts knocking around, I would not tempt fate by annoying a demon tree, says Dr. Coplin. That is excellent logic. That is excellent. It's sound advice. I'd do the same. All right, let's skip through this. I don't really like the theme tune to this. I think it's a bit overexcited. Green Knowe, demon tree.
These things should all have been delivered weeks ago.
2 days till Christmas. And what is it in real life? 5, 6.
Now, tonight we'll begin our own Christmas with some music and an eggnog. All right, Tolly? And I'm bringing back the tree.
Should we have a tree for the animals too? I mean, with raisins and things.
Of course we shall. What a good idea.
Right, a few things to say here, a few things to unpack. Number one, they're only getting their tree 2 days before. Come on. Get your tree weeks before Christmas. That's what I would do. Also, a tree for the animals with raisins and things. That is, of course, because Christmas trees in Tolly's day, you know, the mid-1900s roughly, would have a few little treats on there, edible treats. I don't tend to do that in my household. When I was younger, my grandma, her tree had these tiny little, some of her decorations were like tiny little baskets, like little picnic baskets, but just little ones that you could hold in your hand, and you would hang them on the branches, and she would put like jelly tots in there, and I would, you know, occasionally go and snaffle a jelly tot from the Christmas tree. But yeah, not really one for putting treats on our tree, but happened a lot back in the day. So he's saying we could do one with animal treats on, with raisins and things. Thank you to Nexus Polaris for gifting another sub to the Final J. Thank you very much for that. To be fair, in those times, probably would only get their tree before. You're only supposed to put it up on Christmas Eve, really. Is that right, Travelling Badger? I suppose so. I suppose, yeah. You bring the evergreens in, don't you? They got their Yule log in a bit earlier.
Ollie?
I'm not that up on the history of Christmas.
Tonight, we'll begin our own Christmas with some music and an eggnog. All right, Tolly? And I'm bringing back the tree.
You make a good point, Ed. You say if you put the tree up too early, it'll be brittle by Christmas. Now, that's true. That's in a way, that's as true today as it ever was. But the reason that we can now put our tree up a bit earlier than maybe once could is because we have probably a bit more choice in the kind of breeds now, and we have like special trees that don't drop needles as much, and oh, look at this one, it's like more aromatic, and you have choice of species, whereas back then it was just a pine tree growing somewhere which probably would drop its needles very quickly. So yeah,
with raisins and things.
Of course we shall. What a good idea. And hazelnuts for the squirrels and biscuits for the birds.
What about the tigers and the elephants, huh?
oh, it's that taxi driver.
Merry Christmas, Master Toadland.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
I'll be back for tea. Wish me luck with the shopping, Tolly.
Good luck.
She's not taking him with her. Kid must be bored stiff. Oh, you must come to me for Christmas. What, so I can just stand around in Boggis's plague shed?
Sugar?
Yes, please.
He carries sugar around in his... Oh, and it's granulated. So he didn't put those cubes in his tea.
Mrs. Oldknow thought as how we could have our dinner out here. More cosy like, seeing as she's away up to town today. Here. You eat those.
Boris, have you got a grandson?
I had. But he was killed in the last war.
Ah.
Have you got a son?
Post-World War II, maybe.
They was both killed in the first one.
Ah, yeah, there you go.
Have you got a granddaughter?
That I have. And she's got a son.
But he won't be called Boggis.
Oh, yes, he will that.
Oh, that's all right then.
No, it isn't all right. It's all wrong. She ain't married. No, thanks. I like something I can taste. These onions eat lovely.
Oh, Christ.
Did you know my grandfather?
Oh, that I did. He was a limb of mischief. Him and his brothers.
Not married, I know. It's all wrong.
I remember once. They was all in the big field out the back. And the bull was out, but they didn't see him. Not until all of a sudden he was snorting in their pants. Well, they all ran off to the river, and in they popped, one after t'other, with all their clothes on. Just like so many frogs. My son were batman to your grandfather in the First War.
Tony, Toby's, sorry to interrupt this sweet, sad conversation about the World War One. I noticed that Tolly is taking very small bites of his sandwich, which you do often see in on TV where people have food and they don't really eat it because they're maybe doing a lot of takes and they don't want to keep eating sandwiches or whatever.
Ran off to the river.
Yeah, he was his Batman.
Your grandfather, so many frogs.
I'm not entirely sure what a Batman is, but clearly some sort of assistant. A personal servant to an officer.
Batman to your grandfather in the First War. They got killed together.
Hmm.
And in the last one, it was my grandson as was sergeant and your father was corporal.
And nearly all dead now.
I used to think it was the old no curse. Then it was just the war.
Ah.
What curse?
Oh, 'tis no but no wise tale. They say they caught a gypsy stealing horses here once.
I remember.
And they put him in prison. And his mother, she turned out to be an old witch.
Black Verdi and Petronella.
And in revenge, she laid a curse on poor old Noah.
Green Knowe.
Aye. The Green Man, down by the mole. Like the deer and such.
Right, so it is sort of carved, I think. It's an intentional face, Green Man on the tree.
Snip it, snap it. Shapen you. Devil's image, take on you. Evil grow, evil be. Green Knowe demon tree. Well, as the tree grew, a whole lot of strange happenings overtook the men of the family. Accidents like, and all of them to do with bolting horses. Well, the villagers said the horses panicked because of a blind figure that prowled out at night.
A blind figure?
Now they calls the place Green Knowe instead of Green Knowe, which is his proper name, mind you. You finished? Let's get off back to the house then. Your granny will be back, and I've got all that wood to get in before it freezes.
So there you go.
Will the peacock warn us? When he walks, I mean.
Who's been telling you stories? Off with you now.
So the Green Man was cursed by Petronella, was she called? Bolting horses. He wants to see Festi, but no one's seen Festi, only the horse thieves. Even Granny's not seen him, she's only heard him. 2 sugar cubes for him.
Sorry, they're a bit grubby.
That is no way to carry a pot full of scalding hot water, but sure. Looks very cozy there. Slightly creepy, but 6 o'clock, bedtime. Uh-oh, sounds like moving branches. Uh-oh. Demon tree. No!
Holly? Holly? I'm back.
There's a tree at the door.
Oh, what's wrong? Oh.
I thought you were never coming.
Oh. Well, I've had a wonderful day, Toby, but oh.
She's not bothered that he's upset. He's like, oh, I was scared and I thought I was never coming back for me. Oh. Well, anyway, I've had a great day, so let me tell you all about it.
I thought you were never coming.
Oh. Well, I've had a wonderful day, Toby, but oh, I'm glad to be home. And I brought the Christmas tree. Bring it in, Boggis. There. Isn't that lovely?
Steady, Boggis. You get needles everywhere.
Well, how could I tell which of you it was with your face hidden in my shoulder? Now, tell me what you've done all day. Besides letting Boggis scare you half to death, telling you stories I told him not to tell you.
I beg pardon, man, but he asked me. Straight out he did.
So now you know the story of our curse. But we leave old Noah alone now, take no notice of him. Even curses don't last forever. Oh, darling, you've put everything ready.
He's horrid now.
Don't think about him. St. Christopher's much more lasting.
Who's St. Christopher?
Oh.
He's the stone man by the chapel. He carried the infant Jesus across a river in a storm, thinking it would be easy. But halfway across, the child grew as heavy as the sorrow of the whole world.
Oh, God.
Lynette loved him quite specially.
Lynette's not afraid of anything. She said...
Tomorrow's Christmas Eve. Will you come with me to midnight mass?
Don't know what that was about.
Listen to that wind.
Said...
Oh, is it because Boggis is there?
Christmas Eve.
We're not supposed to talk about the ghosts when Boggis is there, maybe.
Listen to that wind.
It's a good night for telling stories.
Will you join us, Boggis?
Don't mind if I do.
What shall it be about?
Tell me a story
Tell him the one about St. Christopher.
Toby and Alexander went with their mother on
I was all ready to blaze it then. I thought she was going to say,
the river in Pennysoke.
make a great blaze.
But Lynette was too young to walk so far. Had to be put to bed.
It's not fair, Orlando. Well, I shall not care. I shall stay awake till midnight by myself. You must stay awake too, Orlando.
She's got an interesting accent, hasn't she?
You must stay awake. And then won't they be surprised when they come back and find us still awake?
Now, if you've been keeping up with my Twitter account over the past, well, since yesterday, you'll know what's coming. We've had the scary ghost children already, but ladies and gentlemen, prepare for perhaps the creepiest image of this show. Keeping in mind St. Christopher's meant to be a goodie and old Noah's meant to be a baddie. That is way worse than any old demon tree could be. Oh. Evil fingers can't catch me. Horrid. Don't blink, says that you do. Oh dear. Nuts. Oh, it's the animal
Granny.
tree.
Can we give them a present?
What do you suggest?
And a partridge in a pear tree.
I was about to facetiously say, oh yeah, just give them a partridge in a pear tree, but no, that's actually what they're getting. A pear tree, 2 partridges. That's their gift. 3 French hens. I'd have 5 gold rings, personally. Sounds the most valuable. And doesn't require cleaning out or feeding. Definitely don't want 8 maids a milking, because I can't even drink the milk. That's nice.
Christmas.
Should we still go to midnight mass if it snows?
Yes, if you're not...
Goodness.
Oh.
Granny, can you hear? Granny, who is it?
Oh.
It's the grandmother rocking the cradle.
Granny, why are you crying? It's lovely.
It is lovely. Such a long time ago.
Don't cry, Granny. I'm here now.
Yes, you are.
Oh, I don't want the crying baby, please. Ghost
Granny,
baby.
I haven't put any sugar for Vessi. Can I go and put some now?
Of course.
Yeah, just run out in the storm. Go put some
Take
sugar
the
for
flashlight
Festy.
with you.
Flashlight. That'll help us date it a
Your
bit.
name should be hopeful.
Just another odd line there from one of these shows. Take the flashlight with you. Okay, so they've got an electric torch. So, yeah, clearly, I mean, we've already established it's after the 2 wars, but, yeah, if we're dealing with an electric torch. You'll see, here's a good benchmark for whether something is old enough as a TV show for me to instantly like it. I mean, I don't like everything of a certain age. I still have to enjoy the, the genre or whatever, but it's a good baseline is if when they move around very bright sources of light, whether it leaves a sort of after image on the film. These things were shot on tape, and you see that? The glow of the torch leaves behind a little trail. There it is. Get it on all your old British sitcoms. Get it on, I think it happens on Box of Delights. Happens on Blake 7. He's having fun. He's being a motorbike. Oh, that was a peacock's call. No, Tolly, it's bad. The peacock warned you. Oh no. Old Doctor Who, yeah.
Granny?
Guys,
Granny?
it's about to get scary. I mean, it's actually not going to get that scary because the special effects are sub Box of Delights, let's say. I mean, look at that. You can't even see the face.
Go away.
I would find this creepy if it didn't just look like a flipping tree. I can kind of make out the nose, but like they just did a bit of a bad job doing. If that had a big scary face on it, that would be a bit creepy, you know. And it's got these 2 branches here that kind of wave around like arms. It could be scary, but it's not very scary. It's a bit scary. It's certainly no Saint Christopher wandering through the midnight flood with strange singing child.
Go away.
I suppose it is still a bit creepy. Oh no, St. Christopher's here now. Sorry to interrupt this scene. I mean, a tree that's just walked out into the middle of the yard is still scary to me, says Mr. Black. Yeah, it is still pretty creepy. Okay, here we go. We'll watch it in full now. I'll stop interrupting it because I'm ruining the atmosphere. Go away!
Granny?
St. Christopher's coming in.
Granny?
What's scarier, this tree or St. Christopher? Oh, it is kind of creepy. If that tree wasn't there, and then suddenly you looked around and it was, that would be pretty scary. Festy. Whoa! St. Christopher can do laser.
Tolly?
He's like Superman.
Tolly, you out there? Tolly! Tolly? Have you been struck?
Green Knowe. It's gone.
Have you been struck? Oh, ghost kids are just there. Festy.
Festy's calling you.
I know it. He trumpeted his loudest when old Noah walked. I was just waiting for you to come round.
I wish I could see Festy.
Perhaps Christmas is your lucky day.
Oh, I find it weird when that's like the one time that you see her seeing them.
Oh, Lynette, stop teasing. Boggy, what's wrong? Come in and sit down. You look all in. Here, Tolly's had some.
Oh, is it brandy? She's given Tolly some brandy.
By the chapel. Oh, when the lightning hit.
Yes.
Things is moving.
Stone things.
Oh.
Things that oughtn't to be.
Did he hear that?
Granny, will they be there?
You wait and see.
That's where the whole budget went, says Labrotovich. Yeah, the brandy.
I'll never see Festy.
No.
Maybe if you wore something of Toby's.
His sword. Your shadow looks just like a partridge.
Rude.
Sometimes it's hard to tell whose shadow comes out with you.
Your shadow looks just like a partridge. Shut the door, Tolly. Everyone knows Mrs. Oldknow goes at the front. Don't fall asleep in church. Very rude. Don't worry, he's not going to wake up and it's all a dream. I don't think. Can't remember. To be fair, you know, he should be a bit knackered. It's midnight for start. When you're that age and you stay up for midnight mass or midnight whatever, New Year's Eve, you're sleepy. On top of that, he's just had a fight with a tree. On top of that, he's a mouthful of brandy. He'll be Sparko. He won't wake up till Boxing Day. Oh, look, they're all there. You can see the ghosts. Oh, or have they gone back in time? They're seeing... Everyone there is oldie worldy. Oh, there's Alexander leading the choir. Wink. Yeah, it's only those two who are modern people. I guess he maybe he's fallen asleep and he's sort of dreaming this. Plague Church, says Pup George, yeah. I think he was dreaming that a little bit, maybe. Well, it's ambiguous, isn't it? Was it happening? Were they ghosts? Was it a dream? But the rest of the thing hasn't been a dream, don't worry. Now they're the ghosts, says Mr. Black. Yeah, they all died in that church. That's just a sock, isn't it? That's not a stocking. Ah, an ark. some crunch, whatever that is. Flare light, a Kit Kat. Right, we can date the show here pretty accurately. Some cards or something. An orange, of course, a Satsuma. And a delicious onion from Boggis. It's an apple, don't worry. He's done well there for the 1950s, post-war. Is that Toby's jacket? He used to wear something of Toby's.
Maybe if you wore something of Toby's.
Just a little reminder for what we were told about 6 minutes ago. Near the end now. My cat, Kit Kat, just walked over as Peter said, a Kit Kat. Just good timing, lol, says Mr. Black. Couldn't fit the PS2 into the sock, eh, Granny? No, sadly not. Bewhip Roundtree's Chocolate Crisp was released in the UK in September 1935 and Kit Kat just after World War II.
Bestie?
Is he going to see him? He's heard him. Will he see him? He's not there. Never mind. Boggis, he has to work on Christmas Day.
Struth, I thought you was a gypsy.
Happy Christmas, Boggis.
Boggis, please, for God's sake. Gonna get cancelled.
Struth, I thought you was a gypsy.
Happy Christmas, Boggis.
Happy Christmas, Master Toesland. What you got there? Oh, hungry, eh? Your granny's putting breakfast on the table. Yeah, look what I found on
It's
the
a big
front
bite.
lawn.
Hungry, eh, he says, as though he's bitten half the core off.
Can't think where it fell from.
Boggis, please replace the clip. Yeah, I didn't really mean to replay it as such. I just wanted to go back to where I talked over it.
Happy Christmas. Happy Christmas. How are the animals this morning?
I had to tie Orlando up. The partridges were too much for him. Isn't that my old coat?
Yes, thank you.
The partridges are wonderful.
Oh, look at that. I mean, you'd die, but
Wonderful.
maybe that's not appealing to like non-Brits. But I mean, I'd leave the tomatoes as well. I'm not really a tomboy, as it were. But oh, the sauce and the bake and the fried egg. I don't like my yolk too runny either. I don't tend to have egg very often, but if I do, that looks about right for me. And it's all served on toast. Oh God, I could eat that right now. I'm flipping starving.
Happy Christmas, bare feet. Do you like your toes blue with cold?
Yes, Happy Christmas. Granny, it worked.
The coat? I thought it might. So, you saw him. Tolly?
Granny, Lynette forgot something.
She may have. I hardly know.
Is that a real dog now, or is it just a ghost that's hanging around? Oh, that's cute. Look at that dog. That's sweet. Not so into King Charles's, but that's a pretty cute looking one. Oh, and they've got A brandy butter pudding on fire with holly. Oh, how Christmassy, everyone. I'm glad this ended Christmassy.
Let's see.
It's for when you used to play with the doll's house.
Oh, Tolly, you do think of nice things.
Oh, he's made it from a little cutting. That's nice.
Linnets.
Ah.
Where did you find it?
She put it round the rabbit's neck.
Oh, she would. It was a present from my grandmother on her 6th birthday. She's wearing it in the picture.
Will you change the name back to Green Knowe?
No, I've come to like Green Knowe better.
Yeah.
His great-grandson comes here every
Evening,
summer.
Peter.
I think I'll
Hope
get
you are
you
well.
two to
Loved the
plant a new
tat
one.
this year. It was phenomenal.
Now,
Loving all the
I like
classic
Green
merch
Knowe.
back in store. Any chance of the burgundy hoodie coming back? I missed it last time.
Lauren, thanks for the 100 bits. Glad that you're you enjoyed the tap video and that you're enjoying all the merch being back in store. I also prefer a burgundy hoodie. I'm not so into black hoodies personally. I can inquire as to whether that's possible. Depends if it's some of our stuff is made kind of to it's printed. What is it? What am I trying to say? We make it to order, and some of it is we buy a whole batch of it and then sell them. And if we're going to do the latter, then you have to be sure that you're going to sell stuff eventually. But if the black hoodie has been popular, and clearly we're going to be able to sell hoodies, then we'll be able to, I'm sure, buy a batch of burgundy hoodies. But if not, then it's we end up tying up a lot of money in merch that we can't then sell on, unfortunately. But yeah, it's a shame that you can't just choose the color as such. You could if they were just made to order, but it's obviously more cost effective for us to do a batch and try and, as long as we know we can sell them. But I can certainly inquire with the merch man as to how practical that is, because I also prefer the burgundy. So there we go.
She's wearing
it. She put it round the rabbit's neck.
Oh, she would. It was a present from my grandmother on her 6th birthday. She's wearing it in the picture.
Will you change the name back to Green Knowe?
No, I've come to like Green Knowe better. Boggis' great-grandson comes here every summer. I think I'll get you two to plant a new one. Now, make up a great blaze, Tolly.
Hopefully it won't be a demon tree next time. I guess it won't be cursed on this occasion if they do a new one. Make up a great blaze, Tolly. It's the sex number.
I'll tell you a story. What should it be about?
Tell me a story about the river, please.
Oh, the river. Well, the river's a very lively inhabitant here. Always to be reckoned with. There are many stories about it. I remember a story
I think that's a little nod to, I believe, the second book in the series. So the first one was Children of Green Knowe, which was this adaptation. And I think the second one is called The River of Green Knowe, it is. Or the River of Green Knowe, I think. So they kind of it's just a little hint at the continuation, as though life goes on. But they didn't do any more adaptations in this as a series. As I said earlier, they did do a film starring Maggie Smith as Granny that was based on like the 3rd or 4th book, I think, which we won't be watching. But there we go. So that was another Christmassy children's drama from the 1980s. Now, let me get rid of that. There are only so many left that I'm aware of. I like them, so there's, it's a narrow band. I'm lucky to have found a third one, to be honest, because Box of Delights, super Christmassy, very 80s, a good mixture of wonkiness to, kind of actual charm. It's my top draw Christmas children's show. Chronicles of Narnia, Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. It is Christmassy, literally has Father Christmas in it, and it's snowy. It ends in the summer when, it's all thawed out, but it's pretty Christmassy. So that's nice, and that works, and it's charming as well, and it's got some interesting special effects and things. That one was a bit of a, I don't want to say it was a last resort, because that's not very nice about Children of Green Knowe, because it's got its charm to it, but it's also, it kind of sits somewhere in the middle, in that it's neither super charming. It's a bit cold and a bit haunted as a show. You kind of feel like you're in. I almost feel like I'm in a cold house with ghosts in it, even if they're not nasty ghosts. And then it's also not like super wonky. There's the strange sort of peacock hiccup conversation that happens and a few other little bits, but it's not like so silly that. So it's good enough on both of those metrics, but it's not quite the whole package. And beyond that, I'm not really sure if there are any Christmassy, they have to be Christmassy, because I know there's more Narnia and there's other things, but Christmassy children's shows from the sort of 70s, 80s. Possibly we could go a little bit later on and do the Magician's House, which is kind of similar to Children of Green Knowe a little bit. And I think the first book of those is set at Christmas. I remember reading that, but that was a bit more. It was made in the 90s. It was like a Canadian and British collaboration in terms of production. But so there's stuff like that, and we could watch the Box of Delights again. That's an option. Maybe we couldn't, because it is on BritBox now, and at the time when I showed it, it had only just been added, and I literally didn't know. It was added days before. So I don't know. There are some options. I have to think about what we're going to watch next year. I've got a favourite Christmas Carol adaptation that is a lesser known one, so it might be worth. We could perhaps watch that. Let me put the music on. Could maybe watch that. Could watch A Christmas Carol. And I'm sure there will be some other shows that were at least shown at Christmas. Ideally, it would be nice if they are actually Christmassy, but we can't watch Wallace and Gromit, for example, Nexus Polaris, because we probably are going to get, probably would get struck for that. Pumuckl and the Nikolaus next year, says Lobrotovich. Yeah, maybe we could watch Pumuckl. No, I would never step on your toes like that. We'll work out something, but I've got a whole 12 months to figure out what I'm going to watch, so I'm not super concerned just yet that we'll be in trouble and run out. But this was a very gentle watch, except when it was truly horrific, says Pup George. It is. It's a lot more level, Children of Green Knowe. So, like I say, not my favourite, but I thought, hey, that's good enough to stream. We'll enjoy that. We'll all watch it together, and we'll have a nice Christmassy time. If we can get away with watching the Box of Delights again next year, that is probably the one I'd want to watch the most, because that is just entertainingly nice and weird. On both of those counts, it's entertaining and enjoyable. So maybe we'll go for that, or I don't know. I'll find something, but let's not worry about that right now. But yeah, I may be doing more watch-alongs next year on stream throughout the year. We'll do a Halloween one for sure. We'll do a Christmas one, but I might try and throw in a couple more, as we go, because there's so much good stuff like this from that era that is just a little bit silly and a little bit funny when it's not trying to be, and yet it has that nice charm to it. So it's almost like it's why I like the first two PS1 Harry Potter games. It's a similar thing where in a lot of ways it is really nice and charming and warming and nostalgic, and even if you weren't there at the time sort of thing, you kind of feel a nostalgia for it. But then, you know, there are parts of it where you've got PS1 Hagrid's face, or you've got like just silly bits of music, or just oddness, and that's what you want. You want that blend. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But join me next Christmas for another watch along. Join me Halloween for a watch along, and join me hopefully throughout the year for a few of them as well. We'll see how it goes. Can't confirm for sure just yet. Need to work out what our options are, but it may well happen. So there we go. Thank you everyone for being with me today. This is my last solo stream for the year before I go home for Christmas. I'll be back in January. We are streaming on Thursday, Ben and I think Ashton is off and won't be in for that.
This was lovely TP. Have a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
So join us on Thursday for a joint stream, Blaze It. That will literally be the last thing I do, because it'll finish at 5 p.m. and then I'll have half an hour and then I'll head off home for Christmas. But I'm now going home to my actual house right now, this evening, and maybe I might be able to persuade my lovely new wife to watch the first episode of Box of Delights with me. Wish me luck, everyone. She said in the car today that she would like to watch it. I have a feeling, because it's late in the evening, she might say, well, you know, it's late, maybe we'll watch it tomorrow, but I'm in with a chance. She also sometimes watches the ends of my streams to see when I'm nearly done, so she might be watching right now. I'm just guilt-tripping her publicly. Hey, I really think my wife should watch the first episode with me, right? Don't you guys think that too? Maybe? What do you think? No, it's okay. She might be tired. It's been a long day. So, yeah, Amy, people are saying in the chat. Yeah! No, it's fine. We'll watch it at some point, I'm sure. I appreciate the mere notion that she might be up for it. So that's enough to sate me for today. Right, that's it. I hope you enjoyed today. I had a really good time, and I hope you all have a very lovely and charming and heartwarming Christmas just like that, if that's what you celebrate. Or if you don't, I hope you just have a lovely, heartwarming and charming time without celebrating Christmas over the next couple of weeks. I will see you on Thursday, but other than that, I will catch you in January. Wonderful. All right then, everyone. Lots of love, and you're all flippity gibbets.